Alright, this is the first video of Chapter 3, Topic 1, Graphing from a Table. So there are 4 steps that we can use to graph from a table, and step 1 is to draw the table. So that's already done for you, which is very nice. The second step is to choose x values. It normally works well to pick -2 through 2, however, that might not be the case for fractions. So the part that actually requires you to do math is step 3, which is substituting in those x values into your equation to get new y values. So what that means is if my x value is -2, I'm going to sub that in for the x value in my equation, and I need -1 at the end. So following order of operations, 2 times -2 is -4, -1 is -5. So I have to plot a point at x equals -2, y equals -5. So that's this very bottom point. So you can go ahead and do that for -1. Plug it in. 2 times -1 is -2, -1 is -3. So when x is equal to -1, y is equal to -3. Plugging in 0. I get a y value of -1, so my x moves 0, my y goes down 1. And as you can see, this is starting to make a line. Right now, I think 3 to 5 points is something good to aim for. So if we keep plugging in numbers, I'm just going to skip a couple steps to save time. So we can plot 2 more points, 1, 1, and 2, 3. So that's the hard part of doing the math. The last step is to connect those points with a straight line with arrows at both ends. So let me adjust my arrow, and let's go that way. And we're going to pretend that there's an arrow at this end too. Alright, on to the next slide. Alright, so we have a new line, y equals -2x plus 3. So right now I'm going to use 3 values, -1, 0, and 1. Let's go ahead and plug those in. -2 times -1 plus 3, -2 times 0 plus 3, and -2 times 1 plus 3. All I'm doing is substituting the x values I chose into the original equation. This is going to get me 5, this is going to get me 3, and this will get me 1. So let's go ahead and plot those points. -1, 5, which is up here, 0, 3, and 1, 1. So then we can connect those with a line and make sure we have arrows at both ends. Now I would like you to do the U-try on this page. Right, after doing that U-try, we have 2 special cases. One is when we get equations that only have one variable. So in the first example, we have y equals 3. That means the only thing that can be in the y column are 3's. No matter what x is, x can be anything. Let's say -2, 0, and 4. You can pick any x values, but we know that y is always 3. So if we plot those points, -2, 3, 0, 3, and 4, 3, you notice that these make a horizontal line, and anything that says y equals will always be horizontal. So what this means at the bottom is equations that have y is equal to some number are always horizontal, and no, that is not a hashtag. Let's look at the opposite case. We have x is equal to -1. That means x can only be -1, but y can be whatever it wants. So let's pick. Maybe it's -2, maybe it's 0, maybe it's 3. So let's go ahead and plot those points. -1, -2, -1, 0, and -1, 3. Now, just the opposite thing happens. We get a vertical line. And I'm really bad at making these. There we go. And so anything that says x equals some number are always vertical. If you forget which one's vertical and which one's horizontal, you can always plot points and graph it, and that will make sense. All right, now it's time for you to try it. You have the tries for numbers 2 and 3. One is an x equals and one is a y equals.